boys and girls. It's time for Art Time with Mrs. Guy. And this week is all about shapes. Last week we learned about lines, and you put lines together to make shapes. And this week we're going to work on putting our shapes together to make a piece of artwork. This week we're going to make a piece of artwork based on the artist Mary Blair. Mary Blair worked for Disney, and she designed It's a Small World. We're going to make castles this week based on Mary Blair. You can make a house, you can make a castle, you can make a tower, you can make whatever you want. I'm going to draw a lot of towers for a castle across my paper, which I kind of want it to be just one giant castle on my paper. You do it however you want to. Remember, when I do an example like this, you are still the artist of your paper. You do not need to copy mine. I'm just showing you one way of doing it, and you can use mine as inspiration and do whatever you want to on your paper. I want us to really work on putting shapes together to make a piece of artwork. So we're going to get started. I'd like for you to warm up your hands, so wiggle your fingers, rub your hands together, rub them together and warm them up. Don't be hard, don't squeeze, but warm them up, get them nice and warm. Squeeze and open and squeeze and open. Remember, roll your wrists one way and roll them the other way. Get your hands all nice and warmed up, and we're going to get started. I'm going to start by drawing several towers across my paper. I want my paper to be turned this way. You can turn your paper however you want to do it. I'm going to have my paper this way, and I'm going to start by drawing several towers across my paper. I'm going to draw one right here. I'm going to draw this one here. I think I would like for this one to go up and be a little bit taller, and I'm going to bring it back down. But look, I still have this part, so I'm going to go ahead and draw this line because I want to remember that that's a tower there. I'm going to bring this one here, and I'm going to go ahead and pull that line straight down. Then I'm going to put a tower here, and I'm going to go up and over and down here. And I'm going to pull this line back down. I'm going to do lots of towers here. Then I think I want this one to go right here. So I would like to fill up my paper with some different kinds of shapes. That way I know I'm going to kind of try to put a few on each one, and then I can just keep adding. I like to do it this way. You can go ahead and design each tower individually if you want to. I'm going to go ahead and just do a few designs across and just keep adding that way. You do it however you want to do it. But I think I'd like to try to divide up my paper a little bit right here and put a tower here. I'm going to put a mark here. I'm going to put one here. I think I'm going to make this one with a diagonal line through it. I'm going to put a square here and put another one down here. I'm just going to try to divide up my towers a little bit, and I'm just kind of deciding as I go how I want them to be divided up. You decide however you want them to be. I'm doing mine this way. It's up to you. You are the artist of your paper. You can do whatever you want to. And you remember, yours doesn't need to look like mine. We're different people, we're different artists. So we're learning how to do this a little bit differently. I think actually I want this one to have a line up here and right here and then right here. And you can decide if you want to put tops on yours. You might want to put a few triangles up here for the top. I'm going to put a triangle right here. I'm going to leave a triangle off of a few of those. I think this one I might do like a curved top. That's a curved line. That's not a geometric line, but I'm still going to put that on there. I think this one I'd like to have a top of a triangle there. So then you can go back through and add some more shapes to them. I'm going to add a diagonal line to this one. And then I'm going to divide this one up into a few squares. And then right here, I think I would like to I'm going to divide this one up this way. And then I think I would like to make this one kind of striped up through here. So you can decide however you want yours to look. This is what I would like to do. I'm going to do that one that way. And then down here, I think I'm going to put another square inside of this one, and I probably will come back and add something to that in a few minutes, but I'm not sure what I want to add yet, so I'm just going to leave it right there. So what I'd like for you to do, boys and girls, is just to add geometric shapes to your towers here, and I decided I want to make this one come across and add this shape right here. I'm going to try to put some diagonal lines throughout my picture, not just on one side, but try to put them throughout my picture. So I'm kind of looking to see where else I can put another diagonal line. I think I might actually want to make an X here on this one. And here I think I would like to do some stripe lines across here. So go ahead and fill it up there. And then I am going to, I want to pull this one across here. And I'm going to make a zigzag line here. I like to do that one there. And I think I'm going to go ahead and pull this one across here and make a zigzag line here to kind of match that one up there. I think I'm going to mirror those a little bit, which, like I said, you can do whatever you want. This is no right or wrong. And I think I kind of like that. So I think I'm going to add it here. See, artists kind of go like add as they go. And that's what I would like for you to try to do. Try to decide where you can add some of these shapes. Go ahead and put them in there. I'm going to put this there, but see, I repeated that right beside each other, so I'm going to want to fill this in with something else different on each one. So I think I'm just going to keep drawing some squares inside of squares here. And then on this one, I'm going to start adding a few circle shapes. So I think inside this one, I'm going to add a circle here. And I think down here, I'd like to add another circle. I'm going to add these kind of shapes to here now. I think on this one right up here, I'm going to add like a rainbow line right there. I think I'd like to put that. So I kind of like my rainbow line. I might even add my rainbow line down here on this one and make it come all the way and touch. That way it gives me some different shapes there. I'm going to keep adding, and you do the same on your paper. What I'm doing is giving myself nice big blocks of area to add some colors. And I'm going to decide what colors I'm going to use in just a few minutes. I'm going to add these little diagonal lines here. I have them up on the top of this one, but I'm going to add them again here. And you go ahead and do that, boys and girls, and put yours all together. I'm going to finish my drawing up. Why don't you go ahead and pause the video and finish your drawing, and then come back and we'll add some color together. Okay, boys and girls, as you can see, I filled up my paper with some different shapes. I have a lot of geometric shapes, and then I added a few organic shapes, some of those free-form shapes that we talked about. I've kind of filled up my whole paper, and now I'm going to start adding color. You can add whatever colors you want. I'm going to limit my colors. I like to do this sometimes. I like to pick out some colors and limit them. So I'm going to do that today. I'm going to pick out the colors. I'm going to lay them right here so that you can see them. I'm going to try to pick out, it's called a palette. When an artist decides what colors they're going to use and they limit, they create a palette. So I'm going to make a color palette for myself and limit my color use. I like to use lots of colors, but today I would kind of like to keep it a little more simple. And I'm going to just pick these colors right here. I love all these other colors, but I'm going to put them aside, and I'm going to just work on my artwork with 5 colors. Now you can do this or you can use all the colors. What I like to do is I like to start by picking one color and adding it. So I'm going to just start with this green color that I picked, and I'm going to add the green color to several places. And we did this last week with our line design. I think I did that with you all, where I picked a few colors and just used a few colors. I'm going to do that today, and I'm going to put this green in several places on my work. Then I'm going to switch colors, and it doesn't mean that I'm not going to come back to the green. It just means that I want to balance my colors on my paper. That's a principle of design that we're going to talk about later this year. But you don't want all of your colors in one spot. So I don't want all my green to be here and not in anywhere else, because I want the viewer to look throughout my paper and see more green. So you decide where you want that to go. You use whatever color you want. I'm going to go through and add this green in different places on my paper. You add color to yours, anywhere you want it to go. Remember, there's no right or wrong here. We're just coming up with shape designs to make our castles. I feel like I don't have as much green over here, so I'm going to go through and add some green right here. I like to make this stripe right here green. I feel like I have, oh look, when I talked about it, I don't really have green down here on the bottom, so I'm going to pick a couple of places to add some green to balance the bottom. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to pick this square right here. And I want these to kind of mirror each other, these two little squares, so I'm going to make that one green also. So now I'm going to switch colors. I'm going to put that down, and I'm going to switch, and I'd like to switch to orange. You do whatever you want. So I'm just going to switch colors right here. And I'm going to do the orange in different places. Add some right here. And I'm going to add orange down this side. I might come back and make that orange. I'm not sure yet. I just want to put some orange in different spots on my paper before I decide. So I'm going to make this is like a flower shape. It's an organic shape that we've talked about, that free form shape. I'm going to make this rainbow design right here, orange. And then I would like to make some of my stripes up here orange. I'll make the other side of this orange, I think. And then I'm going to make a stripe or two in here orange. Okay. I'm going to add orange again. I've got a lot of orange over here, but not any over here. So I'm going to go through and add orange right through here. I'm going to add. And I think I'm going to make all of the diamond shapes in the middle here orange. I think I would like to do that. You don't have to. You don't even have to have diamonds on your paper. I think I would like to do that. Remember, there's no right or wrong. If you get out of the lines, it's not a problem. Don't worry about it. Just keep working. Don't start over just because you get out of the lines a little bit. I'm not starting over. Do you see how some of my black lines ran into the others? I'm not going to start over. I'm going to make that work. I'm going to make my picture still work together. It's still going to be fine. I am mirroring a lot when I'm doing a color on one side and I'm doing it on the other. You don't have to do that. And right here I didn't. You notice that my green and then my orange is right there. I'm looking for different places to add my orange. I've got a lot of orange since I did this right here, so I need to go back and add some orange on this side of my paper because I need to balance out a lot of this orange. Remember, I didn't have it and now I do. So I want to go back and add some. And I'm looking over my paper and I feel like I have a lot of orange, so I'm going to put it here and I'm going to come back to orange. Now I'm going to try to use blue, and I would like to use my blue here. Now we talked about last year, colors have complementary colors, you remember? And I hope you can remember, what is the complementary color to blue? It's orange. Remember, they're opposite each other on the color wheel. So I'm going to add some blue here. It's really going to make our eyes look at this because they're complementary colors. And it's going to really show up a lot. So boys and girls, I'm going to go through and add color to mine. You can pause and add color to yours, and we'll come back in just a few minutes and we will see where we are.